Joining me live from Arizona is NewsNation senior national correspondent Brian Entin, who did that great interview with Sheriff Nanos. Brian, good to see you. I have a lot of questions here, but I always start off with what is the latest on the ground that you're seeing? And also, let me couple this too. There was a lot of activity today. There was movement at Nancy's house with a white van. There was also news that investigators took a look at the home of one of Nancy's neighbors. So can you tell us about that activity as well?
Yeah, so the activity outside the house, Jesse, there was a white pickup truck and a Subaru that showed up to the house. And the detectives seemed to know they were coming, let them by, let them up the driveway by the garage, which I haven't seen happen before. They weren't law enforcement. There was a man that got out with a briefcase. We had our drone up. They went around to the back of the house, two men. They went into the house. They were in the house for several minutes. Then they came out and left. We don't know. This is it right here. Yeah, this is that white pickup truck. We don't know what they were doing. At first, I thought like maybe friends of the Guthrie family that went to, retrieve something in the house from them. There was other speculation that it may have been a locksmith, which I'm not really sure why they would need a locksmith. But that was one thing that we saw outside the house. Also next door at the neighbor's house, there were detectives that showed up a few hours later and were inspecting a Ring camera. And also there was like a floodlights with a Ring camera on it that they were inspecting for quite a while. Yeah, this is a picture of where they were. Which we haven't seen them talking to that neighbor before, so that was also new and interesting. And in terms of what else was happening on the ground, the main thing today was the DNA, confirming that they put the DNA from the glove into CODIS and did not get a match, which was obviously not the news that everybody was hoping for, Jesse.
No, especially when it's a database of 19 million offenders and over 1 million forensic profiles. But it's not the end of the story. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Do you know anything about how or if it's being tested through investigative genetic genealogy, family trees? It's been used to solve cold cases in the past.
Yeah, we confirmed that it is. We had suspected the last couple of days that they would go down that route, but we've now confirmed they're going to do IGG, which is investigative genetic genealogy. You mentioned it, just what they did with Kohberger. It's one of the ways that they found Brian Kohberger. It takes longer, though. It usually takes longer. It could take weeks. It could even take months. There's so many factors here. I was talking to one of the investigators, even depending on the suspect's origins, it's more difficult with people who have Hispanic origins. There's not as many in the database. So it could be a long process, Jesse, but it's good news that they're doing it because it's been successful in the past.
And look, I don't even know if that glove that was found 2 miles away is even related to this case one way or another. It's just another consideration. I do want to ask you something. I thought this was a key moment in your interview with Sheriff Nanos. There's been a lot of back and forth. Why did you send this DNA analysis to a private lab, not Quantico? I want to play this real quick, get your perspective on the other side.
If I use, for example, of state lab, DPS, or the federal lab, Quantico, you have to understand they have others using those labs too. And so it really puts a lot of strain on them to prioritize those cases and do what they can with them, where if I have my own lab or a contract lab, it allows me easier access to those cases that I think are important to us.
What did you make of that, Brian?
Well, look, it's a different story than what we're hearing from FBI sources. I mean, they have said that they wanted it to go to Quantico, specifically because they thought it would be faster, especially with the glove, because what we were told last night by FBI sources is that the DNA had to come back to Arizona before it could be put into CODIS, whereas if it had just gone to Quantico, they would have saved time and been able to put it directly into CODIS. So, look, I mean, the sheriff says that this is a lab that they've always used. That's what he told me today. He believes that it was easier to just send everything there. And he says that he talked to the FBI about this and that it was a short conversation and that they didn't have an issue. So, it's hard to say who's right here.
Right.
I think the sheriff does have good intentions. I really do.
Yeah.
But I think the FBI has been a little, upset with some of the decisions made.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.